Hey there, hey, and thank you for tuning into the pod of Born to Be a Star. Today is another day, another opportunity for you to recognize your star power. And my allergies are on my last nerve. I've been coughing all day and sneezing and queasing and just feeling totally horrible. We have an amazing conversation today. We're going to be talking about politics, parenting, food, watching things, the weekend, all of the fun things. I hope that you have had an amazing week. I had the amazing opportunity to be a poll worker, as I am basically every other 2 years or every other 4 years, whatever it is. Every time there's an election, I do it. At this point, I'm somebody that they know is going to be there, so there's that. I literally have been doing it forever. But the point is that today is another opportunity for you to understand your star power by reflecting on where you've been and where you're going, reflecting in the mirror and looking at yourself and loving your reflection, loving who you're becoming and loving who you are. When you see your reflection, you should say, dang, I look kind of good, or this isn't bad. Instead of being negative or not, liking what you see necessarily, we should find ways to love our reflection. Granted, we might not look like supermodels or Beyonce or like Katy Perry or freaking Taylor Swift, but we still look cool, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just because you don't look like that now doesn't mean you can't look like that at some point. But why would you want to not look the way you look? Why can't you love your reflection? Let's reflect on where you've been and where you're going to next on your journey, right? That's important. So, reflecting on where you've been, meaning the experiences you've already have, should lead you with some understanding of where you're going to next. So, today is another day and another opportunity for you to say to yourself, yes, I can. Yes, I can learn a new language. Yes, I can travel. Yes, I can change my hairstyle. Yes, I can decide that I want to eat differently. Maybe I want to be pescatarian. Maybe I want to be vegan. Maybe I want to just eat pizza. I don't know how long you're going to live if you're eating all those carbs, but if you want to do it, try it. Maybe you want to learn how to knit or sew or do a bunch of things, right? You should be saying to yourself, yes, I can. Not only should you be saying that to yourself, but you should be living that motto, meaning any opportunity you can, find a way to find the good in something. Find a way to say that you are going to succeed. You are going to be successful. Like, that's your opportunity to do it, right? It is. So, taking into consideration that you are going to succeed and you are going to be successful, right? What can we do outside of saying to ourselves, yes, we can, to instill that we are going to do things? Like, here's an example of what I mean. If you do want to go skydiving, maybe you should take some classes first. If you are going to seriously learn a new language, how are you going to learn a new language? Are you going to get lessons from your neighbor who speaks fluent German? Or if you're learning Spanish, are you going to take a Spanish course? Granted, maybe you should try to find some way to do it online or through a program. There's a bunch of different options. But what can you do to get you to your goal? Like, how are you going to succeed at that? If you want to learn how to knit or sew or make jewelry or design clothes, maybe you should talk to your aunt who's a designer. If you want to learn how to play the piano, maybe you should talk to your brother who learned how to play that, right? There's so many ways and so many opportunities for you to learn how to do these things. So, saying to yourself, yes, you can, is a way for you to succeed and accomplish something and conquer your goals. Outside of saying to yourself, yes, you can, and you can literally say yes, you can about anything, changing your style, redoing your house, upgrading your closet, getting a new car, moving, finding your town. We talked about that yesterday. Finding something that you like, switching your job, changing your major at school, deciding you don't want the same comforter on your bed, right? There's so much that you can do. And honestly, you shouldn't hold back. So outside of saying to yourself, yes, you can, because you can, you should also be saying to yourself, I'm never going to give up. And how can you give up on yourself or anybody you love halfway through something, but not by not understanding the entire story, by not seeing the ending, right? How can you give up halfway through a movie and decide you hate it, but you've only watched 5 seconds of it? Now, maybe that's a bad example, because sometimes I'm quick to judge a movie by like 5 minutes into it. If I'm not liking it, I'm turning it off. But that's because I'm a picky watcher, and I'm a person that happens to love horror movies and thrillers and psychological, like really warped things. I find that more attractive, and that's my go-to. But that's the kind of watcher that I am. But taking into consideration everything I said, how are we going to succeed if we don't have a plan? How? I want to encourage you. I want to inspire you by saying we're never going to give up. And saying we're never going to give up means that we persevere through the difficulty. It could be polycystic ovary syndrome. It could be breaking your leg. It could be cancer. It could be hurting your eye in the house because you went to put on glasses and instead you almost stabbed your cornea, right? It could be anything. It could be your child getting hurt, or it could be your cousin having a bad experience, or something really detrimental, or something's happening with your mom or your dad. It could be anything, right? Whatever's happening in your life, don't let that stop you from persevering to get to the good. That's what I'm saying. Outside of that, the next part of the conversation is why not today? Because why do we pretend like we can control time? Why are we people that assume that we cannot make plans and we don't have to organize, and if the dishwasher's not working, at some point it'll work? That's not how that works. If the washing machine in the basement's not acting correctly, if you wait 5 days, it probably still won't act correct. If your car's making some weird noise, you probably need to go to a mechanic. These are things that have to get done and have to get fixed. And if you don't prioritize and organize your life correctly, you're going to be running in circles and you're going to go completely insane. And that's not healthy. None of it's healthy. So, taking into consideration everything that's been said and done, what can we do to prioritize our lives? And the answer is by fixing the dishwasher. The moment you know it doesn't work, get on the phone on Angie or find somebody to fix it, right? Your car's not working, find somebody to fix it. If you don't like your hair, you don't like your wardrobe, you don't like your closet, your car's not working right, fix it. Don't put it off for tomorrow. Get it done today. And don't have the idea that you have forever to make a decision to do something, because procrastination and indecisiveness isn't your friend. It's your enemy. Waiting forever to make a decision isn't going to be something that's going to help you succeed. It's going to be a detriment. And that's not good. That's bad. But moving on from the bad, let's get back to the good. Today is Friday. It is April 5th, and I'm an auntie. I have a nephew. Heather has given birth to a baby today, and I am so excited, and I cannot wait to see my nephew. You know, there is nothing better than having a bundle of joy, and I've seen all the girls on Instagram with their babies, and I can't wait to be a part of that and have my own child. And that is something we're going to be talking about today. But before we get into that, I just want to say congratulations to Heather and Dan. I'm so happy for the both of you and cannot wait to meet my beautiful, sweet little nephew. I know he's going to look like the both of you, and I cannot wait to meet him. Outside of that, it's Friday, and let's get to the headlines with no media allowed, no media allowed, no media allowed, because they lie to us anyway. So it looks like Harvard has hired 24-hour security to protect anti-Israel wall, featuring a famous quote from a terrorist. Are you kidding me? Why would you ever send your kids to that school? Why would you pay Harvard money for that? These people are ridiculous. Not just that, but there's definitely something going on with surrogacy where women are having kids and they're not able to have things with children. That's crazy. Chris Cuomo tears Biden a new one over the Israel hostage. It's like they're pretending like everything happening in Israel is the fault of Netanyahu, but they don't understand war. It's really irritating. Biden panders to the hard left thinking he'll win more votes. But I have a feeling that's not going to help him, because when he does that, when he panders to the progressive side of the Democratic Party, he leaves out everybody else. He really needs to be going after independents and unaffiliated, not the far leftists, because they already don't like all the things he's done with Israel. Why would he pander to them? Why would he make comments and go after Netanyahu and attack Israel the way he's attacking? The thing that happened in October, and I know I've made comments where I've called out Ben Shapiro and a bunch of Jewish people because I don't agree with their inability to question themselves. But I'm talking about the elites. I'm not talking about the regular everyday people that died in Israel. I don't consider Ben Shapiro one of those people. Now, he can have his thoughts and opinions and whatever. I still like him. I still listen to him. But I'm taking a step back from Daily Wire for a while because I don't like how they attacked Candace Owens, right? I don't like how they used people in a way that they shouldn't have done it. So I'm going to take a step back. But I also do not think that it's okay for the American government to chastise Netanyahu and the Israel government and pretend like there is not a forever war happening in Gaza, where Gaza was given to Hamas and Hamas decided to attack them, basically like it was another variation of something that happened to those people horribly in history, and it happened again. They put babies in ovens, okay? They murdered mothers, they murdered fathers, they attacked people that were survivors of the Holocaust. They thought it was funny. It isn't funny. We need to remember what happened on October 7th, just like we remember what happened on 9/11. And the audacity of the American government to talk to Israel about how they can attack Hamas. Remember what we did? And we didn't even attack the right people. Because you know who killed people on 9/11? It was the Saudis. It wasn't the people we attacked. But taking that into consideration, I think the way that they are misrepresenting Israel and Jewish people is going to be a detriment to them, because the majority of the people voting for Democrats are Jewish. And just like I said yesterday, Chuck Schumer is Jewish, and a lot of others are too. And where are they going to go? They no longer have a home in America because everybody is running around screaming Hamas, Hamas, Hamas. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. They don't even understand that no trans person or any person outside of normal sexuality, heterosexuality, is going to survive there. Do they not understand? It's like so irritating to watch these idiots run around and do stupid things over and over and over again, and for no one to call them out, including the media. The New York Times is slimy, CNBC is slimy, MSNBC is slimy. All of them are slimy. I'm sick of hearing these high elite, like Wall Street Journal people blab about the economy, pretending like everything's okay. It's all a lie. What else is happening in the news right now? Pat Sajak's last show will be June 7th, and then we'll be stuck with Ryan Seacrest for who knows how long. California retail chain closing all 70 stores after persistent inflation and economic windstorm. We're talking about the 99-cent store. It's closing in California. No surprise. Mike Rose slams Harvard segregation celebrations, and it should. Reba McEntire said some comments that sound funny. Conservative org drops $15 million ad blasting Senator Tester's immigration record. Okay. Secretary pauses extreme climate mandate after challenge from Republican Attorney General. And they should be challenging all this dumbass policy about green energy, telling us we need electric cars. Are you kidding me, dude? Chaos at Rutgers University as the president flees protests, leaves Jewish student begging for police protection. At all these elite institutions and prestigious universities, you know what needs to happen? There needs to be a reckoning. Everybody should unenroll and leave them for dead. If there's no students at Harvard and all these higher up institutions and everybody decides to just leave, what are they going to do? It'd be really great if people actually had enough balls to do that. Why do we keep allowing these far leftist lunatics to run and destroy everything? That's a question, isn't it? Elon Musk hits back at whoever was attacking him about Teslas. He should continue that. Looks like there's going to be a Happy Gilmore 2, and I can't wait to watch it. And there's a bunch of other news, too. Looks like Beyonce's messed up in Hollywood. Dwayne The Rock Johnson says he's unhappy with the state of America and will not endorse Biden again. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, he had a whole conversation on Fox the other day, and that was very interesting. Looks like there is a Fantastic Four rule that they're trying to put a chick in for Marvel, and that's going to fail like everything else that they do fails. Disney's trying to do some weird shit in Florida, and I hope DeSantis gives them a big finger. But moving on from the headlines, let's get to what I actually wrote here in the paragraph. Saving the kids means that not only do you have to call out these insane districts and these the people that run the schools, right? The Board of Education, the actual education department. You know what? Not only do you need to call them out, but you need to find an alternative for your children. And yesterday I gave you an example about my coworker telling me, how am I going to afford that? Well, then figure out a fucking way that you can afford it. Clearly, you need to make more money because you need to be putting your children above yourself. If they're not in a secluded environment where they're actually able to learn correctly, they're not going to succeed. This is a very, very messed up world. And kids from America are not learning the way kids from China are learning. They're not learning the way kids from other institutions and countries are learning. I'm sorry. Kids in the United States are not that bright. The idea that only a small amount of people go to college and have like master's or higher education. When I tell people I have a master's degree and I tell them I work where I work, they're like, why? Because I decided to do it. We're incentivizing children to not be smart. We've taken away the ability for there to be honors and advanced placement courses and for gifted kids to be recognized as gifted kids. We want to attack white people and Asian people, probably Indian people too, because that makes us feel better about affirmative action and a bunch of insane crap that makes no logical sense. Kids are kids. They don't have races and they don't have colors. Have you met like little kids, like I'm talking about age 0 to like 5, they don't know anything about race. They just want to play with each other and have fun. As an educator, as a teacher, right? Because I always be a teacher first. It's horrible that you want to take away a child's ability to be a child. And you want to take away a kid's ability to be innocent and to not understand race. You want to take away their ability not to understand sex or sexuality. And you want to take that away at 5 by dressing them up in weird outfits and telling a little boy that he's a little girl because you're mentally sick. We need to save the kids at a very young age, because if we do not save them, we are not going to have a world, right? If countries don't get ahead of the fact that there's not enough people having babies and we have a limited amount of people actually taking over what needs to happen to fix things, we are all screwed in a horrible way. Millennials, Generation Z have caught the worst end of everything. Trying to buy a house, trying to start a family, trying to live an American dream, or just a dream without being in America. It's pretty impossible, isn't it? If we're going to succeed, we have to take care of the kids first. We have to give them the ability to be kids. And we cannot pretend like they have to have a responsibility that they don't need. It's unfair to them. Let them run around and play and be innocent. Give them the time that they deserve to have. For the love of God. Don't trust the rusty reporters. When I hear the reaction from The View and everybody on MSDNC, like the lady who used to be Red Witch on the Biden show, I don't necessarily get mad anymore. I'm just confused about what they're saying. Like, why are they getting irritated? Why do all of them think that Trump's the problem? They all have Trump derangement syndrome. Trump called them all out. He removed the veil from our eyes, and he took away their ability to control the narrative to an extent where they no longer control the narrative. They just all sound like they're crazy. And you know what? That's great. You know what else? They can't put it back the way it was. The more they do the Russia hoax and they pretend like he did something he didn't do, and the New York Times comes out with a claim that they heard a witness say that he was talking to someone in another country amidst Biden trying to do something, blah, blah, blah. I don't believe anything that you're saying, right? I don't. You're lying. And we can all tell it. These people will say anything because they are desperate to push the Biden lie. But Biden is corrupt, just like Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and the rest of them. AOC doesn't care about anybody in New York except for herself. She is a lying piece of shit. The dude she's running with is white, bro. And she's not even that pretty, honestly. And for all the douchebag progressive men that are running around like AOC's my type, she wouldn't give you the time of day. You can't afford to talk to her. Please get some brains in your head. Do you understand that she wore a dress that cost a lot of money to some gala that made no sense? If she's doing that, if she has a $170,000 Tesla, you do know you're not in her lane in any regard, right? She is a hypocritical liar. Not just her, but Jamal Bowman, Pramit Jayapal, and the rest of them. I'll call them out by names. I don't have enough time on this segment to do that. But everybody in this progressive squad, they're all full of shit. They're all lying. And I know we want to pretend like Kennedy is that great too, but he's crazy too. He's insane too. He is a leftist as well. The only detriment he is going to have is going to be on Biden. And it's funny watching that happen. They're all grimy. The rhinos and the uniparty don't see what's coming. And I can tell you what's about to come in the United States of America. A wake-up call. Because it's not just going to be Republicans that like Trump that are going to come out to vote. It's going to be moms and dads and students and Generation Z and probably old people that don't like the fact that their Social Security is getting cut and they're paying more taxes for shit, but they're already retired and they basically can't afford to live, because living in the United States of America and basically a lot of the parts of the world is nearly impossible with this uniparty, insane, one narrative livelihood. It's not livable. But okay, let's continue to lie. You're going to sit around here and you're going to think that nobody's paying attention, that we're not going to call you out every time you do something. All these whistleblowers with the CIA and the FBI pretending like they're not whistleblowers, and they won't let someone speak about Hunter Biden, but Hunter Biden is a drug addict, and we all know he smokes cocaine and he bought prostitutes and he had an affair with a pole dancer and had a baby that he pretended wasn't his. That is Hunter Biden. And you know who Joe Biden is? Joe Biden is a man that hid documents he wasn't supposed to have in his house, in the trunk of cars, and did a bunch of shit. He has used the Department of Justice to attack the person running against him winning. And now it seems like the only way he can win is by making shit up for corrupt lawyers and corrupt judges to follow suit with. The best part of the last couple of weeks is when Trump let his company go public and he made more money to cover the dumb ass fee that they're charging him for something he didn't do. And I've talked about that repeatedly over and over and over again, because you do understand that Trump did pay back his loans. The banks want to give him more money. Do you understand when a bank lends money to a person that has a lot of money and they pay it back? It's different. You understand that, right? I don't know if they do, though. Will the world admit defeat? I think there's a lot of people that are sleeping around the world and they're not calling out the Uniparty and the World First Organization. The bullshit, right? The Uniparty. These people don't care about the countries that they represent. They don't care about the people. They don't care about what's actually happening. They want world autocracy. And you know what? We can't let them have that. We need to fight together, brothers and sisters all around the world. It doesn't matter if you come from a little village or a big city. We have to fight together because they're fighting against us. And the only losers here are going to be me, you, they, them, and us. They're going to take everything away from us and make living unaffordable, which they're basically doing right now. I make a lot of money at my job, but after I pay all my bills and I pay for things on a weekly basis, it's like I don't have any money. And every week I'm trying to figure out how that's possible. But it keeps happening, and I know if that's happening to me, I can only imagine what's happening to you. Don't cave to insanity. Don't let yourself for one moment think that you're the wrong person because the news is telling you something opposite. No, the news is wrong. They're stupid. Moving on from politics, back to babies, preparing to become a parent. I don't know if there's a way to prepare to become a parent. I guess your preparation could be your nephew or your niece, but you're really not going to know what it is to be a parent until you have your own kids. I think that's the best advice. Look for another way. If one way doesn't work, try turning down a different road and see if that works instead. Don't stay focused on something that didn't work. I almost got caught in to reacting to people that don't deserve my reaction. And then instead of me getting mad and irritated and feeling like I got to get payback and I got to give these people what they deserve, I'm just at a point where you don't matter anymore, so I don't care. I'm not going to give you any attention, any light, or anything. If you're going out of your way to make my life miserable, or a person is going out of their way to make your life miserable, and you're free to not be near them, then the best thing you could do is to treat them like they're invisible, like they actually are. Look for another road if one road is being filled with cement. Don't get stuck. Success depends on you. If you want to be successful and you want to accomplish goals and you want to do amazing things, then you better be willing to fight for that. If you want to make more money, then you better be willing to work longer hours and basically have no life. All these things come with responsibility and understanding, right? If you're going to make more money, you're going to have more things to do. If you're going to make less money, then you're going to be doing less things. It's typically how it goes, depending on how much time you have available to find out a job or a company that's actually going to pay you for your brains and your skills, right? You need to be very picky about where you're working and who you want to work for. You need to actually do research and figure that out. That is something that you seriously need to do. But your success depends on your ability to understand what hard work is. There are no handouts. If you want to be successful, if you want to be at the top of the food chain, then you're going to have to climb your way up to the top and find a way to stay there. If you want to do amazing things, then you have to be willing to work very hard for that and not expect any handouts and not expect anybody to give you anything. If you want to succeed at school, then you have to be willing to read and work very hard and get A's and everything and be on the dean's list. If you want to succeed at your job, then you're going to have to follow the rules and do everything the correct way. Be a team player. If you want to be successful in your marriage, then you're going to have to understand it's a marriage. It's not you by yourself. You're not single. You're in a relationship. If you want to be successful financially, then you have to understand budgeting and the importance of paying things the correct way. So you don't have debt. Getting yourself involved in your 401k and investments early on. You work as much as you can while you're young, so when you get older, you can enjoy the retirement. That's how you do it. That's it. Moving on from that, if you want to succeed, you got to do the hard work. Bubble tea and comic books. I love bubble tea. Skip says he doesn't like it, but I don't think he's tried it yet. And I talked to someone the other day, and they were saying they didn't like bubble tea either. I'm just like, okay, well, what flavor did you try? But I don't know. I love comic books. I'm totally a comic book nerd, and that's not going to go away. I have newer comic books that I just bought from the comic book store that I'm going to start reading either this weekend or next weekend. I'm working the next 3 weekends, so whenever I have a moment, I'm going to start reading them, and I cannot wait. I feel like comic books is a great start to a great show or an amazing series. The value of tradition is that you know how things are supposed to be done correctly, and you just follow suit with it. Tradition is marriage. Tradition is July 4th. Tradition is Easter. Tradition is Christian, or Christmas, or birthday parties, or baby showers, or welcoming a baby. That is tradition. Smile. You're you. You woke up this morning, you had 10 fingers and 10 toes, God willing, and you're yourself. So smile. Be happy, be amazed, and be creative. That's it. Following the main part of the conversation, what happened to Mayor of Kingstown? Are they coming out with a new season? Because I want it. Detroiters, I don't know about that. That's on Paramount Plus. I don't know if I want to watch a show about Detroit. The Stand, is that like scary? AMC Plus, have you watched AMC Plus? Skip got it, but I haven't had any time to look at it. He's watched all the Walking Dead series. Your Honor, I still haven't caught up with the last season of that, and I need to. Neighborhood, they have this show called CSI Vegas. I wonder what that's like. Rewatching Star Trek. We're gonna have to see how that goes. Criminal Minds Evolution. Did you watch the original Criminal Minds? I watched a little bit of it, but I never really got into it. I was more so into CSI and Law and Order a very long time ago, and they just continue to play the reruns on like USA or whatever. So when that's on the weekends, I just watch that. But the Evolution one seems to be a new variation of it, so we'll see if it's good or not. Moving into food, what can you put in salads? Basically whatever you want. Chopped fruits, that's the best way to eat fruit. Hello. Quesadillas always taste good. I don't think there's a way to make a quesadilla bad unless you don't know how to make a quesadilla, and I'm just going to leave it there, right? There's never been a time when I've gotten a quesadilla, even from an American restaurant, and it was done incorrectly. I don't think I've ever had an experience. And I've eaten quesadillas at Chili's. I've eaten quesadillas at sports bars. I've eaten quesadillas basically anywhere you could imagine in the world or in the United States, and I've never had a bad experience. The best quesadilla I'd have to say was in Mexico, though. If I'm going to tell you the best quesadilla and the best enchiladas, they're not in America, they're in Mexico. Moving on from the quesadillas and the many other amazing Mexican options, and Mexican is my favorite type of food. Did Chipotle change? I think it did. I don't know. They have this new chicken. I like Chipotle, but their salsa fresca too. Sometimes Chipotle is great, and then there's other locations where it's not as great. And I witnessed one time where they didn't cook like the meat correctly or whatever. I really haven't had a bad experience, but there's been a lot of other people that have had iffy experiences at them. But I'm just going to say, I don't know if Chipotle's changed. Maybe they've changed, their bowls or what they're putting in things, but we're going to see. Taco Bell deals. I am totally a Taco Bell connoisseur. I get coupons and deals and everything that you can imagine, and they send that to me, and so far so good. Ordering out or eating in, it depends on the day. Are you busy? Are you not busy? What are you doing? That depends on what you're experiencing. My friends, that is the end of this pod of Born to be a star. You are a star wherever you are. In the darkness, you are the light. Together, me, you, they, them, us, we are going to not only just change this world, but we are going to change the universe and the galaxies upon the galaxies upon the galaxy. Because we are the light. We are the day. We are the beginning, the middle, the end. We are omnipresent, just as Jesus Christ is. We were here when everything started, and we will be here when everything ends. I want to enlighten you. I want to invite you, and I want to instill in you that you are light. And in the darkness, I see you. And I hope that you see me too, stars. Have an amazing weekend. I'll be working like usual. That's basically all I do. But you know what? I'm not going to complain about being able to work. I'm going to earn my money, and I'm going to make my wage, and I'm going to earn every penny, nickel, dollar, and I'm going to enjoy it, right? Because at some point I'm going to be old, and I'm not going to be able to go to work, and I'm going to be retired, and I'm probably going to miss it. So while I'm young, I'm going to go to work, and I'm going to shut up about it and just enjoy it. Plus, God gave me a job where I make a lot of money, and I don't really have to do a lot of irritating things. So I'm going to be grateful instead of ungrateful. Don't forget you're a star wherever you are. And wherever you are around the world, whether it's Cuba, whether it's Israel, whether it's Germany, whether it's UK, whether it's Canada, whether it's Miami, whether it's the Netherlands or Australia or Africa or South Africa or Venezuela or the Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico or Hungary or Sweden, wherever it may be, don't forget that you are a star wherever you are, and your light should scare the darkness. I'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend, stars. Bye.